All right, let's dive into one of the most beautiful and, I think, most profound parts of Hermann Hesse's classic Siddhartha. We're going to unpack the timeless wisdom that Siddhartha learns, not from some great spiritual master, but from a humble ferryman and the river that he calls his teacher. So, this is the thought that just changes everything for him. After years of chasing wealth and pleasure, Siddhartha is left feeling completely empty, just hollowed out. He ends up back at the river's edge, and this powerful idea just rises up inside of him. The river itself is going to be his guide. So, first up, the return to the river. This is all about hitting rock bottom and finding a new path. And to really get the lessons he learns, we have to understand the man he's become. This is not the eager, young Siddhartha from the start of the book. No. This is a man who's at his absolute lowest. He feels like his life as a rich merchant is just over. It's dead and gone, and he has this deep gut feeling that whatever comes next, it has to start right here, at this river. And when he looks at the water this time, it seems different. It's like it's alive, just brimming with secrets, and he's finally ready to listen. And wow, talk about a complete turnaround. Just a little while earlier, he was this elegant man in fancy clothes, looking at the simple ferryman and feeling jealous. Now, in one move, he sheds that entire identity. He offers up his expensive clothes for his fare and asks not just for a ride, but for a whole new life as the ferryman's trainee. And this is where he meets the ferryman again. The man's name is Vasudeva, and get this, he actually remembers Siddhartha from 20 years before. But Vasudeva doesn't just offer him a job. He offers him a home. He offers him food, shelter, and just acceptance. This welcome is really the start of Siddhartha's final and most important education. Okay, next part, the art of true listening. This is what the book calls the ferryman's greatest virtue. As Siddhartha starts his new life, he finds out that the most important skill he needs has absolutely nothing to do with rowing a boat. It's all about the profound art of listening. As Siddhartha just pours out his whole life story, all the searching, the highs, the crushing lows, he realizes that Vasudeva has this incredibly rare gift. He doesn't judge, he doesn't give advice, he doesn't interrupt, he just listens. And this simple act creates this sacred space for Siddhartha to finally unburden himself and really to hear his own story for the first time. And this isn't passive. It's a really active, focused way of being. As you see here, it's about listening with a quiet heart and an open soul. You have to leave your own stuff at the door. No personal agenda, no wishes, and absolutely no judgments or opinions. You just completely receive what the other person is saying. And Siddhartha is just stunned. He's never met anyone who could listen like this before. So naturally, Siddhartha asks, "Can you teach me how to do that?" But Vasudeva's response is amazing. He basically says, "I can't teach you. The river taught me how to listen. If you want to learn, you have to learn from the river too." He's making it clear that the truest wisdom doesn't come from a person. It comes from observing life itself. And that's Siddhartha's new job. All right, next big idea, the river's secret, no time. This is all about grasping the eternal present. As Siddhartha learns to listen not just to people, but to the sound of the river, he starts to uncover its greatest secret, which is really the philosophical heart of the whole book. This is the question he eventually puts to Vasudeva. And it's a real mind-bender, isn't it? What could it possibly mean for there to be no time? It's the key to understanding the ferryman's deep sense of peace, and Siddhartha feels like he is right on the edge of getting it himself. So here's the secret. For the river, there's no such thing as past, present, and future. It's everywhere, all at once. It's at its source high up in the mountains, it's right here at the ferry, and it's at the mouth of the ocean, all at the same time. For the river, there's only the present moment. There is only an is, not a was or a will be. The second this clicks for Siddhartha, he's just filled with joy. I mean, think about it for a second. Regret, anxiety, fear, aren't they all rooted in time? We suffer over things that happened in the past, or we worry about things that might happen in the future. He has this huge breakthrough. If you can overcome time,
If you can truly exist in the now, then all that suffering just disappears. It's a completely liberating thought.
Okay, moving on to a circle of life, or what I call the ultimate test of wisdom. Because let's be real, it's one thing to understand a big idea in your head, but it's another thing entirely to live it. Siddhartha's newfound wisdom is about to be put to the test in a major way when his past literally washes up on the shore. So, years fly by. News is spreading that the great Buddha is dying. And so pilgrims from all over are traveling to see him one last time. And among them is Kamala, Siddhartha's former lover, who's now a devout follower. She's traveling with her young son, and right as they stop to rest near the ferry, fate intervenes. She gets bitten by a deadly snake. Vasudeva carries the dying Kamala into their hut. Siddhartha recognizes her instantly, and then he looks at the young boy's face, and he understands. In her final moments, Kamala confirms it. This boy, who was a complete stranger to him a minute ago, is his own son. And right here, in this moment, that whole abstract lesson about timelessness becomes painfully real. As Siddhartha sits with Kamala, he sees her face as it is now, but at the exact same time, he sees her as the young woman he once loved. The past and the present just collapse into one single eternal moment. He isn't just understanding eternity anymore, he's feeling it right in the heart of his grief and connection. So, our last section, the ferryman's last lesson, the integration of oneness. This whole experience is what finally completes Siddhartha's journey. He hasn't just heard the river's wisdom now, he has lived it through love and through loss. That knowledge is no longer just an idea. It's become a part of his very being. And the most powerful proof of his transformation isn't something he says. It's right there on his face. The story tells us that his smile becomes just like Vasudeva's. It's bright, it's peaceful, and it's timeless, reflecting both the wisdom of an old man and the innocence of a child. He has become one with the river's teaching. When Vasudeva comments that Siddhartha doesn't seem sad despite all his suffering, his response is just astonishing. He says, "How could I be sad? I was rich and happy before, and now I'm even richer and happier. My son has been given to me." He no longer sees the event as just a tragedy, as just a loss. He sees it as part of the unified, eternal flow of life. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. Vasudeva says that for thousands of people, the river was nothing more than an obstacle, something to get across on their way to making money or doing business. Only for very few did it ever become something more. So think about this. What are the rivers in your life? What are the things that just feel like obstacles? And is it possible that if you learned to really listen to them, they could actually become your greatest teachers? That right there is the ferryman's wisdom.